Well, then what the then from the harm principle side, I would have to be right because we just significantly outnumber trans people, bro. So they
Just
would be
wait.
doing more
There's more
harm.
of you, so there's more. No,
There
but
would
the
have to
harm
be
is.
object.
But
Yes,
the
more
harm is
harm,
far
more
less.
harm. Yes.
Andrew Wilson dives headfirst into one of the most controversial issues today: gender ideology and fairness in sports. Andrew Wilson challenges the logic behind subjective truth claims, dismantles arguments about gender identity being merely a mind state, and absolutely goes off when the topic turns to fairness in athletics. Let's listen to Andrew Wilson, break down some key moments, and add a few responses to highlight why Andrew Wilson's logic hits so hard.
So fundamentally speaking, Andrew, if we really want to fundamentally question the reality of the universe, yeah, we could be in the Matrix.
I'm not
Andrew.
trying to do that, though. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Yes, that's what you're doing.
I'm not even trying to get into meta ethics. I'm just trying to say,
no, it is.
If it is the case that, well, then the meta ethics are starting with you by saying because it's a mind state, it's true. You would be the one making the first meta ethical claim, not me. So if that's or metaphysical claim, that would be you. You would be getting into the meta first, not me. So what you're saying is this is true. That's a truth claim, right? So if that's the case, is it subjective? Are lies a product of the mind, or are they not?
Lies are product of the mind, yes. But
okay, well then you can't say that we're lying.
Let me finish my
bro.
response. You gave me.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So, does objective truth exist? Yes. Are we going to be able to comprehend it with absolute certainty? No. Those are two different categories. So, although I can be very confident about something is true, can I say it's true with 100% certainty? No. Does that help?
Like truth apt, you mean?
I don't know what that is.
Truth, like.
Not that it
you,
isn't
you
fun.
can't you can't make the determination that something's 100% true or 100% false, but it's truth apt, like true enough, maybe.
Yes,
something like that.
Yes,
right. That's not exactly what truth apt means, but like close enough for what it is you're trying to express.
I would like to jump in here, guys.
What I'm trying to say is just this, right? And then I'll finish it here so that you can move it along, and I'll let you respond to it. What I'm saying is that if it is the case that you just believe Christianity is a mind state, and you believe transness, whatever that is, or gender is just a mind state, and you agree both are equally true by that categorization, which you've agreed, both are equally true. If lies are dependent on the same mind, which grants that these things are true, these can't be lies. These people can't be telling lies. They can't be telling a lie because based on their own mind state, it has to be true.
I agree with you on that.
Well, then what the fuck is, then from the harm principle side, I would have to be right because we just significantly outnumber trans people, bro. So they would be doing more harm.
More of you, so there's more. No,
there
but
would have to be yes, more harm, yes.
I would say the harm is far less.
All right. Let's try to push into one of the social topics there, fellas. I could flip a coin on it, but let's just I'm gonna hand it over to Speakeasy. He said objectively the least floor time here. So without interruption, I'm gonna hand it over to Speakeasy to talk about some of the social subjects that we usually get into, such as the bathrooms, the sports issues, stuff like that, and see if we can unpack a little bit there. So go ahead when you're ready, Speakeasy.
Well, like this just touches on what I said with my opening statement, is that the binary of gender has literally formed everything with legal, with medicine, with sports. Like there's no, again, if we have an ambiguous definition of gender, we can just allow anyone, like they want to do, put anyone into sports. So why should anyone even have to take the certain HRTs and all these, or why should a man have to take the HRT for a certain amount of time before he goes into the women's sports? Why don't we just make every sport neutral that way and just have dudes boxing out women all the time? Like, is that what you want to see? Is that the world you want to live in? Like,
All right, so why do you want to divide sports up by gender? It's because of fairness. I'm not even going to explain that. You want it to be fair, right? The thing is, gender is not going to always tell you what is or is not fair in a sport, right? If you want to gauge fairness, there are better metrics to use other than gender, right? There are some adult women who are much stronger than me, much faster than me, and can kick my ass in some sports. And that's not fair, right? They're better than me, but they're a woman. So it's disagreeing with your mind, with your paradigm, right? If you want fair sports, there are other metrics that you can use that are better, apt to gauge fairness, such as strength that can be measured, speed that can be measured, even skill could be measured, muscle mass, BMI. There's many metrics that can be measured that can better suit a fairness in sport than just gender. Gender is a non-consistent way to gauge fairness.
Can I just ask a single question very briefly?
Please.
if men only compete with men and women with women, how's it unfair?
It's unfair because not all men are equal to each other, and not all women are equal to each other. It's
So
not fair always,
so
right?
so the what you're saying is that sports themselves, the idea of sports themselves, isn't fair to begin with.
Fundamentally, they can never be perfectly fair. The goal is to make it more fair. But if
Hmm.
I challenge Michael Phelps in swimming, that's not a fair match. Just because we're both men, he's physically way more adept to swimming than I am.
But
It's not
isn't
fair just because we're both men.
yeah? But the point of sports is to compete, right?
Yes, and you want it as fair as possible. That's
Hmm.
why you have to use
So
metrics that are more apt
what
to
would be a
fairness.
more fair system?
Strength, you can
Hmm.
measure strength.
Hmm.
Speed, you can measure speed. You can measure BMI. You can measure skill level even in certain sports. These are metrics that are much more apt for fairness in a sport that you can gauge. Is this person fairly gauging against this person? That is the
Hmm.
best way to measure fairness. Right?
Okay, so here's what I'll do on this particular argument. I'm going to cede a bunch of ground to you again. In this case, though, I'm not even going to destroy you like I did last time I ceded. This time, I'm just going to cede the ground and say, I'm perfectly happy with women beating the absolute fuck out, or men beating the absolute shit out of women in all categorizations of women's sports. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I'm content with it. I don't care if they kick their faces in. I don't care if they beat their brains out. I don't give a shit if they throw them into walls. I don't care if they I don't care what they do to them. Like,
so here, Andrew Wilson is pointing out the obvious double standard. If we really want equality without limits, then yeah, welcome to chaos. Andrew Wilson basically says what everyone's thinking, but too afraid to say. Andrew Wilson nails it on the head right here.
My idea is, here's what I'll say. My counter is the reason you always see it's the M to Fs who want to do all the competing and not the F to Ms, especially in contact sports. There's basically none. Is because of this reason. Because obviously the M to Fs feel like they have a statistic, an advantage, right? And often they do. And so the thing is like, because of that, I find it to be that men are invading women's sports, and I'm totally fine with that.
Right, I'm not fine with that.
What do you mean you're not fine with that? You're not fine with it?
NBA is a gender neutral sport. I don't know if you know that, right? The reason they made a women's NBA is because no women could compete, right? So this is what Andrew's saying.
I don't understand why he's not fine with that, though. Why aren't you fine with that?
Sports are pretty boring anyway, so let's just make sure we take them all out by putting them in with the men.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of those times where Andrew Wilson just hits with straight facts. The WNBA exists because women couldn't compete in the NBA. That's not sexist, that's reality. Andrew Wilson keeps pointing out that if we really believe men and women are interchangeable in every single way, we wouldn't even need gender divisions in sports. And so, yeah, when Andrew Wilson says men are invading women's sports, he's not just making noise. He's making a solid point backed by real-world outcomes. Andrew Wilson is forcing people to deal with the consequences of their own logic. And honestly, Andrew Wilson is the only one in this debate saying what a lot of people are thinking but are too afraid to admit.
Did you just get Bugs Bunny, boy? I said duck season, you said rabbit season, then we just reversed it. Now you're arguing that men shouldn't be in women's sports, bro?
Maybe I was not representing what I thought when I said that. What I meant was I'm not okay with unfair sports. I want sports to be fair. And using gender as a distinguishing fact, because that makes sports fun.
No,
right?
I think it makes it way more fun when they're not fair.
Well, that's because you're a sadist. But
wait, I'm sorry. Wait a second. When you go and you watch somebody get completely brutalized in a sport, you think that shit's not fun for people?
It's fun for one team.
People have a weird tendencies towards
sadism. So what do you mean? Of course it's more fun. Of course
but it's at a certain point it's not fun, right? It's unpleasant to experience. True cruelty is not fun for me personally. But I want a sport that's fair. I want sports where two people are evenly matched, and gender is not the way to address that. And I don't know if you heard what I was saying, Speakeasy, but there's better metrics that can be used to gauge fairness other than gender. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, those metrics we already do these in certain sports.
Yeah, we should throw out gender
like
then
boxing,
if we're using those metrics.
We keep the certain weight classes of men together. Yeah, we do this.
Perfect example.
Again, all you're gonna do is just eliminate all women from sports, and it'll be a bunch of the only women in your worldview that you'll see in sports is dudes wearing dresses.
Not at all, Speakeasy.
No,
in
not
fact,
at all,
you would
dude.
have plenty of women who could compete
No.
much better
No,
and much more
hold on.
fairly.
I'll
Will,
be
actually,
the
I got something to say about this.
UFC
No.
fighter. I
Hold
appreciate
on,
it.
because honestly, no,
I'll be
Let's let Pep
he's
in there, guys.
missing the point that there's intramurals. You guys are also missing that there could be other leagues that could be developed through this. Like, dude, I've played in a gay men's hockey league. I'm not gay myself. They needed a backup goaltender.
A gay men's hockey league? Is that
Yeah,
what you
there's a
said?
gay men's hockey league in Chicago. Actually, I kind of noticed your background there. That's you not recognize the Sears Tower?
Why don't you guys let the lesbians play with y'all?
They do. It's co-ed. I was just getting to that.
Oh, you didn't say that. You said
And guess
gay
what?
men's.
And
You
the
said
thing
gay
is,
men.
outside of the co-ed, outside of playing for the gay men's hockey league, which is all co-ed,
That's
all
that
these
women's
other,
side that
I
was
can
a
tell you right
co-ed
now,
league,
every
that's
other
all.
men's league,
Learn
pretty
to
much
speak,
in the
though.
entire tri-state area of Chicago, also has women on their hockey teams. And I can also tell you that most of them are certifiably badass.
So it's not a men's hockey league then if it has
It's
women
considered
on
men's hockey. It's literally called men's hockey leagues.
Look, listen, my position on this, like, I don't even know why
So
conservatives.
Speakeasy's just going to freak out over that.
Why
now?
I don't even know why Speakeasy. You don't even need to fight them on it. The truth is that the feminists fought for 75 straight years in order to have their own sports divisions and sports leagues and prove that they were just as good as the men and all of this shit. Now the radical turfs, the trans exclusionary retarded feminists, are out here saying, hey, you can't have men in our sport. I think it's fucking great. I love the fact that they're getting their fucking brains bashed in because they vote for this shit. I don't give a shit. Like, I say more men in women's sports. More fucking men in women's sports. Do it now. Do it fast. As many of them as want to go in, that's fine. That's my actual position. What's the problem here?
Sadistic. So, Speakeasy, can I explain to you why it would not eliminate all women out of sports if you did approach this the way I'm
it definitely
describing it
would.
to you?
Yeah.
No, let me explain
And
to
like,
you why it will not.
I agree where it would make sports, all fun instead of, you have to wait for the women's sports channel part,
So let's say you, instead of using gender as the metric of fairness,
Women
you
UFC
instead,
fights are boring. I always skip those
oh
ones.
my god!
All right, just one second.
Instead,
We'll
use
jump in here. I'll cue you up your mic there, Andrew, as well. Go ahead there, Will.
Instead of using gender as the metric to distinguish what is and isn't a fair fight, you instead use strength, right? And if a woman comes in and they have a low level
I'm muting
strength,
myself, Ryan. Sorry. I'm sorry. He just said something. I was just responding. I'm actually muting myself.
Oh yeah, no worries. If I was just hitting the unmute just so that when you're ready to come off mute, it's available. Just because I took away the ability to unmute oneself. I can undo that though, because you guys are doing quite well. So.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to interrupt as these guys are doing their back and forth.
No worries. All right.
So if someone comes into the sport and they have a low level strength, they do not have to depend on their gender to hope they're going to be matched with a fair person, because instead you could be matched with someone with a similar level of strength, right? There are some women who have very low level strength, and they could be matched with women who have low level strength or men who have low level strength. In fact, it would be more inclusive. More people would have opportunities because it would make things more fair. You could have weaker people join sports when they wouldn't have before because they're only divided by gender. That is a much less fair metric to use to gauge fairness. It would be more inclusive. More people could join in, have fun. It'd be a more better system overall.
Yeah, like I don't care about it being fair amongst the men.
What do you care about it being?
Again, I like watching the better fighter take out the less better fighter. Like I don't.
Well, then
I
we
don't know
can
why
bring
the
back
fair
the
part
Coliseum
matters.
if you just want to have people kill each other. Like, that's not how modern sports are tackled. Modern sports is about competition and about who's better than the other one and about who trained better than the other one. It's about trying to be the best you can be.
No,
It's not
like,
just about getting
dude,
someone killed in the middle of the
they should let
town
the
hall.
UFC fighters do steroids too, so that they can really fucking give us.
That is an irrelevant point. That's not even close to what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it be more fair if I mean, like, what is even the objection to steroids in sports? If all of them take steroids, that's more fair.
They don't.
It's an
That's the whole
irrelevant
thing
point.
with UFC, though.
It's not relevant to the thing we're talking about. If you want points, steroids are not. That's
No,
not
I'm
relevant
explaining to you.
gender.
I don't care about the fair part.
Competition?
Much, where you're making it so let's make.
Well,
the
hold on,
really
Speakeasy.
tall
No, hold
men
on,
fight
Speakeasy.
the
The
really
right
butch
wing,
women. I don't care
the
about all
main
that.
right wing talking points are though. That's the problem there. You may not be making.
If you don't care about fairness, then why do you want to separate sports based on gender?
Again, I prefer not to watch the men beat up the women, but as to Andrew's point, if
not
this
say
would
this.
just eliminate women's sports in general, and that would be probably better.
Do you think what I'm describing would eliminate women's
Yes,
sports in general?
100%.
But you could still have
The whole
weak
reason we
people
made a second basketball
participate.
league and all these other leagues is so that women could have their own leagues to play in.
But
So
women
if
could
you wanna
still
just take
participate.
that away, sure, I'm with it, bro.
But women could still participate in the system that I'm describing, right? Speakeasy,
Yeah, they
you
can
understand
try.
that.
Sure.
No, it's not try. You would actually be more competitive. They would have better competition because they would have people closer to their match level rather than just, oh, you're a woman, being the woman,
sure.
hope you're going to compete.
You have this opinion, and my opinion is they would just get eliminated from sports. And we have proof to show that that's what happens when you don't allow a different league between men and women. We have proof that this is what happens. They can't get in.
But why can't they get in, Speakeasy? Why? Please explain.
Because they can't compete with men.
Why can't they compete, Speakeasy? Why can't they compete, Speakeasy?
That's the whole point.
Why can't they compete, Speakeasy?
Men are better at sports.
Okay, so it's a skill level?
Differently, right?
It's about strength?
No, it has
all
nothing to do with
different
skill.
types of things. There's strength, there's twitch muscles, there's the way their hips are formed.
If
there's
Speakeasy's
Perfect.
live right now,
muscle masses.
That's perfect.
are you
That's
live, Speakeasy?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
You guys can
okay.
unmute
So
yourselves again, by the way.
those-
So just to let you guys know.
Okay. So those things you just described, Speakeasy, mass, muscle, strength, speed, all those things, those are metrics that can be used to gauge better, fairer fights, right? If you really want fair fights, then that's the reason you're dividing it by gender. You can do that without talking about gender. You can do that with the actual attributes themselves. And that would make a much more productive, competitive environment for everybody.
Again, my reason to divide it by gender, right, is with my moral worldview is men beating up women would be pretty bad. But if it's going to eliminate women's sports, I'm kind of for it.
At the end of the day, Andrew Wilson did what most people are too scared to do. He tackled the modern gender narrative head on and didn't back down. From calling out the flawed logic of subjective truths to dropping truth bombs about fairness in sports, Andrew Wilson dominated this debate. Whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny the guy brought clarity, consistency, and confidence. This was one of Andrew Wilson's most savage takedowns yet. Thanks for watching too, by the way. If you made it this far, drop me a like and subscribe for more. I would greatly appreciate it. Take care.